I guess I'm just on a roll today, you know? But it's just like there's this thing called freedom of speech, which y'all think that we have, and we don't. I have a video that stated this a while back. Y'all think you have freedom of speech because you're not talking about anything important. I just made a video going at all these crazy pronouns that's being forced down our throats right now. And I've uploaded video after video after video, but then that one had too many trigger words in it. And all of a sudden, that one's the one that gets stuck in uploading. He called me a conspiracy theorist. Let me go get some tinfoil hat out of my kitchen. You know what I'm saying? But it's like I find it very coincidental when I use a whole bunch of trigger words that YouTube doesn't like. I have to like try again to upload it. Very coincidental that all of my other videos I ain't talking about too much, go through easily. But that one I had to try to get up a couple of times. And y'all think that everything's just free and hunky-dory here. It's like when you go look at how much information that you're publicly giving, some random person, like doesn't have to be the government, a random person, me, could go onto your social media account and just sit there and be like, okay, let's see. Oh, every single day at 7:45, they're at Starbucks. And every single day at 7:45, they order a mocha frappa cappuccino with 3 shots of whipped cream and 2 scoops of sugar, because you put all that information on the world, and then y'all be the same people that say, mind your business. Well, when you put all of your business on a public forum, then it can be used against you. I'm just using common sense here. Once again, I don't care about the YouTube numbers game. I don't care about the likes and the dislikes. I just see things for as they are. And it's very interesting to me that every time I'm a little extra critical on women, I'm extra critical about Christians, those would be the only videos that get dislikes on my channel. Very coincidental, don't you think? But if you really go back and look at some of the things that I've been saying, what have I been saying that's wrong? For example, I said a lot of you little girls out here, that people that have the mindset of girls, are putting a price tag on your vagina. A man has to make this much amount of money to have sex with you. So it takes a certain amount of currency to get someone to have sex. That's prostitution. Tell me where I'm wrong with that. The Bible. I find it interesting that this is the word of God, and no, you can't change the word and blah, blah, blah. But then some dude named King James just stamps his name on top of it. So if I made the Prince Oliver Bible, would you go adhering to it? Oh no, that's different. I can use the exact same words in the King James Bible, but put Prince Oliver Bible on it. And you will think I'm blaspheming all of a sudden. So why is another man allowed to put his name on it, but I can't? I'm just asking very simple questions. I have a video way back when I said that the idea of the police makes no sense. Police are quite literally above the law. If some dude in a suit, if some dude with a piece of metal that says Denver Police on it barges through my door and I fight him to protect myself while chilling in my room, I have now assaulted an officer. But who gave the authority for another human being to barge into my house and take me out? Think about this type of stuff. They can pull you over on the side of the road just because they flashed a few little lights. That's how programmed we are. And if we say, this human being flashed some lights at me, I don't want to pull over. Then all of a sudden they call in the backup, they call in the helicopters, and now you have been charged with a crime. Think about that. That's the world that we are living in now. If you say anything about gay people, trans people, such and such, you're automatically transphobic, and now you can get your life ended. And by ended, I mean like your social life. Oh, this person's a transphobic person. This person's gay-phobic, blah, 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 homophobic, blah, 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 all these little punchlines that are just created by other human beings. And if you don't get along with the program, you're a conspiracy theorist. You're a rebel. You're someone that's not going along with the program. Oh, you're confrontational. It's like, all I'm doing is talking. It's like for example, I just, once again, this Black Mirror stuff got my brain going, but it's just really highlighting some things, and I'm very good at articulating things at the fundamental level. You know, like in the episode, like someone took a picture next to like a military some type of memorial thing, and once again, this is all fictitious, it's just a show, but like they were taking the picture, like acting like they were peeing on it, and then like there was like death to, like hashtag death to this person, and then this person got killed. So because you have a different opinion about the military, now in the court of public opinion, these types of things happen in the world. You know, the military, if you say anything bad about the military, like every single veteran, these people fought and died for your country. How many of you actually fired a bullet? Let's just be real. Let's just talk some things out. How many of you actually fired a bullet in your military career? Some of you have, and that's cool. Well, not cool, but you know what I'm saying. Like, that's understandable. And some of you have not. I'm not taking it away from you, but let's just really be real about why some people join the military. A lot of people join the military because they're living a criminal lifestyle, and this is the only thing that can give them to have some type of good social standing. There are some people that need money for school, so they join the military to get money for the school. So they didn't even join the military to protect their country, some people. They joined it for financial incentive. They were quite literally bribed. And the older generations especially have been completely brainwashed into this. Like, think about this. If I try to walk into your school system and tell your kids, hey, you get to go shoot guns and kill people, me as a regular person, I'm looked at as crazy, and they wouldn't let me set foot into a school. But then if some person wearing a uniform walks and says, I'm part of the military and you will defend your country, sign me up. But to protect said country, you're going to have to go into some foreign lands and go shoot some people up to protect your country. I'm sorry, if I'm protecting my country, that means that there is an immediate threat right in front of me and I have to protect them. Why is it, people, that we have military bases all over the planet? But, oh, that's for protection, and that's for a wide network and blah, 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 blah. But then we're just told everything on the news and you just believe it. We have seen so many movies, so many shows, so many true documentaries where the actual soldiers were told that they were there for one thing, but they were actually serving another purpose. These people are told, you are literally taught to take commands without question. If we were to do that anywhere else in the world, we'd be uprising, but it's the military, it's bravery, and you can't have a whole bunch of conflict among the ranks. There has to be order. But you're literally told to accept things without question. And then even in the military, if you're told to do something and you don't, then you get punished. If everything was on the up and up, you should be able to say, hey, I don't really want to participate in this mission. You know, there's the potential for civilian casualties, and I couldn't live with that on my conscience. And then if you violate a direct order, you get thrown into military prison or something like that. I don't know the exact protocols and stuff. I'm not a military person. But nevertheless, you know, it's like all the stuff that we have, like even the way our business suits come from the military. I've said this multiple times. That's a derivation of the military fatigues, the old school military. You know what I'm saying? The places that we spend our 9 to 5s are literally called companies. And no one wants to think about this. You know, when there's people that are literally like people like me, people like the community of New Knowledge, shout out to you, and other people, Yaki Awaken, you know, all people like that are literally going through and going and talking about all the poisons that are literally in our food. Hey, this thing causes neurological problems. This one causes breast cancer. This one causes this. This ingredient causes this. This one was formed by the Merck company, who is a pharmaceutical company. They are making up stuff and putting it in your food that makes you sick. But then we are called health freaks. Huh? So with me highlighting a whole bunch of things that are causing you problems, you know, causing you a whole bunch of heartache when you're watching your loved ones sitting in a bed, you know, or taking all these pills and stuff, and like, oh my God, I wish they'd be okay. The reason why they're so sick could be attributed to all the things that are in the food. But then the people like me are the problem these days. Someone that says that these rocks on my neck have metaphysical properties. Oh, look at him. He thinks rocks do things. Oh my gosh, they're just rocks, bro. And then you don't realize how many rocks go into your computers, go into your smartphones. But they're just rocks though. Oh, well, that's different. Oh, so now we're just moving the goalposts. They went from just being pretty rocks and now there's somehow an applicable use for them all of a sudden. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy that now it's like if you have an independent thought, if you go against the norm, and then people get mad when they're called sheep. Don't get me wrong, in the spiritual community, we do talk a little bit too much about sheep and bots just because someone doesn't meditate 6 hours a day like you do, then they're automatically a sheep or a bot. That's once again, there's balance. And I'm getting to the spiritual community too. Everybody can get it in this one. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, but you're automatically outcasted because a whole bunch of people that have chosen not to think for themselves are sitting there watching the news, sitting there on Twitter, sitting there on Instagram, having their whole lives formed from their palm, aka their phone, aka a screen. It's like, hey guys, if you line up your spine, if you stand barefoot in nature and you wrap your arms around the tree, tree huggers, these trees are quite literally circuits, and you can connect with them and heal with them. But you're a weirdo if you're hugging a tree. First of all, since when is hugging bad? I shall not commit the fashionable stupidity of regarding anything that I cannot explain as a fraud. Sometimes some things do look strange. But then when you actually ask the person, instead of coming to your own judgments based off of your limited information on the subject, and you just actually do this crazy idea. You actually ask that real human being in front of you, excuse me, what is it that you're doing? Oh, well, I'm hugging the tree. Because what you do is I'm literally creating a circuit with my body. When I stand barefoot is the key. Barefoot in the soil, this is called zeroing. This is taking away the positive or negative charge. Either way, it's like it's balancing out the charge. And when you balance out the charges, this is kind of like the equivalent of free radicals, these cancer-causing things. So I'm literally letting all of the pollutants and all the toxins flow from my body, all the negative energy flow from my body into the earth, and the earth can just do whatever it wants with it. You know what I'm saying? And then when I connect with the tree, I'm completing the circuit. This is why the bottom of our hands and the bottom of our feet these are my socks, by the way, but it's like the bottom of our feet are literally sensors. That's why they're different colors. This one, you don't grab things with the top of your hands, do you? You grab things with the bottom. You don't walk on the top of your feet. You walk on the bottom, the pads of your feet where there's actually cushion. There's a literal purpose to why things are the way they are on our bodies. And we're just taught that these things are to lift things up and put them down. Clap your hands right now. You feel that tingle in there? What's that? Oh, that's energy. Because all of the sensor, the energy pathways in your body lead into your hands. That's why when you do this, that's now energy being dispersed throughout all these sensors. That's why you feel it so much. Like this one, like if you pinch your elbow, you barely feel it. There's not going to be as much pain, maybe a little bit. I tried to do an ollie when I first tried to learn how to skateboard. That's my little mark right there. But nevertheless, it's like, it hurts, but not as much as this. Slap that. You barely feel it. There's less energetic channels going through that. Clap your hands together. You feel it tingling in your hand. Some of y'all just got mind blown with that information. What else don't you know? You go to school, we get these fancy degrees. That's why I'm a huge proponent that schools are worthless. And because you as an adult got wrapped up into the society where, you have to go to school, you have to get this degree. What's the capital of China? How many electrons are in palladium? You went to school, right? You got this piece of paper that says you're smart. And of course, we have our things, but we're bombarded with a whole bunch of useless information, but then things that we could actually be using to build a better society, we simply don't know about because our society has dumbed us down to the point where we are looking at women shaking their butts for entertainment. We are looking at people having sex on a screen for entertainment. That's how dumb we look. Sex, boobs. We are forming our whole perceptions of what we want as individuals and like what we're looking for in relationships based off of what some popular YouTuber or influencer said. First of all, they're called an influencer. It's literally their job to influence. They get paid to influence you to the highest bidder. Think about it. Why do you want Jordans over New Balances? Why do you want to buy Jordans over New? Because they fresh, bro. They fresh, bro. Dog. I love using these markers. These are the charcoal 7s. These are the navy blue 5s. These are the, the pink 12s. Next year, these are the lead 7s. The sorrow blues 12, the sorrow blue 12s. The romantic pink 15s. You see what I'm saying? The dark 7s. Wait a minute. These are the same damn markers every single time. These are the same damn shoe every time. And you just keep buying it because somebody told you to. Because someone attributed some type of value to them and you just bought into it without thinking about it. Wait a minute. Why am I paying? And this is what happens. Why do they not teach you money in school? Those shoes take, I don't know the exact cost, but let's just say those shoes cost, let's just say, I'll probably highball it. It takes $100 to make that pair of shoes. And you bought it for $1,000 for some shoes. Does that even make sense? If I walk up to you and I made this thing for 5 cents, I made this little notebook for 5 cents. But then I walk up to you and say, hey, yo, I'm gonna give you this to you for $5. You're going to look at me like I'm crazy because you actually know how much stuff costs to make. You're like, that costed you 5 cents to make, and you're charging me $5 for it? That's a crazy markup, don't you think? Wait, so why don't you ask those same questions with all these name brands? You know, I made this example. I don't have anything around me, but like, you ladies out there that he better get me a Birkin. He better get me a Birkin. Why? It is a bag to literally hold your smartphone and your makeup. Thousands of dollars to hold your makeup? That doesn't make sense. So why does it have value? Oh, because society said it has value. Like, we live in this world now where we don't talk to one another in person anymore. I know we have friends and people have social lives, but I'm saying, like, you won't meet up with your friend because you don't feel like it. Just text me, call me, FaceTime me. I don't want to be around you. Of course, I'm saying, and don't get too deep into that. Of course, sometimes you don't feel like dealing with people, but like, I'm just saying, it's like we were coming to all these conclusions based off of the internet, And then, like, let's go on to the spiritual side of things. People are like, once again, people find spirituality usually when they break away from their organized religion. But a lot of people really don't pay attention to the fact that you're bringing in some of those old traits from your organized religion to spirituality. We have so many people that flock to the next spiritual person, the next spiritual leader, the next person that speaks with a little bit of confidence, the next person that speaks with a little bit of pizzazz, and he teaches you a little bit of something that you didn't know about. Some people are just looking for their next Jesus. That's all they're doing. When you jump to the spirituality world, you're now looking for your next Jesus. There was like Muji. He's like a mystic, and don't get me wrong, you're not mystic, like a guru or whatever. Don't get me wrong, he be speaking some truth. You know what I'm saying? But I be finding it weird when people be at these retreats and like they like put all of their heart and soul into this other individual when he himself is just saying, yo, relax. I'm just showing you how to do this. Go do this. But you see the desperation that people have to be led. You're just looking for your next leader to give you all the answers when all we are trying to be doing as spiritual people, light workers, all the above, whatever. We're just trying to show you that you, the individual, have all of the power. But if they get you in the hive mind, you will dumb yourself down to fit in with society. This whole YouTube thing has shown me so much. Like, there are people that will lose their damn minds if they lost 10 subscribers in one moment. But I do what I do. And if I lose 10, I gain 20. So what am I worried about? Nothing. I have found that when I am authentically myself, I find success because I'm not limited by the world view of everyone else around me. You can agree with me. You can disagree with me. That's okay. That's okay. We are allowed to disagree on things, people. That might be a crazy concept for some of you, but we can disagree on stuff. I don't have to yell at you when you have a different opinion. I might think you're a fucking idiot. I might think you're stupid for the way that you think, but guess what? That's my opinion. And guess what? When you're trying so hard to appease people and make people happy and just do what you can to blend in and not bring too much attention to yourself, you find yourself losing yourself, and then you still realize with you trying to make everybody happy, you come to this very simple understanding that you cannot make everyone happy. It is literally impossible. Why? Because individuals have individual thoughts and feelings. And we're in the world now where that is becoming a problem. Go listen to Eddie Griffin's stand-up. He says it in a few of his stand-up specials or whatever. He says you guys think it's not illegal yet. And now it damn near is illegal in the court of public opinion. Think about everything we just went through with this whole pandemic that snapped their fingers and now mandates are being lifted and everyone can take their masks off. Some random person behind the screen influenced your life that crazily. Whether you believe the thing was real or not, whatever. It's like some random person you have never met. Some random person you have never met told you what to wear and you just did it. Think about that. You just did it. How many of you were laid off from your jobs? How many of you were no longer allowed to work because you refused to get some experimental treatment jabbed into you? Because you thought the rules were stupid. You proved to some of your companies how unconstitutional stuff was, but they just said, I don't care. These are the rules now. So wait, why are we fighting for all these rules, bringing it full circle? Why do we have our military fighting for our rights when in our own country, our own rights can be infringed upon if enough people get along with the program? So why are we going out here fighting in all these other countries when our own country is a freaking mess? Why is it if the public, to which the military is supposed to be protecting us, right? So if the citizens that they are protecting start to act up a little too crazy, then the military is used to control the public to whom they're supposed to be controlling, or a Freudian slip, to whom they're supposed to be protecting. They start to now control you because they're the ones with the guns and the rifles, and then they point them at the people that they're supposed to be protecting. The police, call the police if you ever have help or if you ever need help. But then the police are the same ones that can drag you out of your own house if you just say too many things, if you use the freedom of speech. But then they'll classify your freedom of speech as hate speech. So then not only do you have freedom of speech, but then they can then classify it and then use that against you. So they make the rules and enforce the rules, and no one questions that. This is the world that we live in, man. It's really crazy when you put all this type of stuff together. Once again, what have I said that was incorrect here? What have I said? Some people are going to get triggered by this type of stuff, but I'm just out here thinking. Who said money is a real thing? Don't get me wrong, I get it, but it's just come on. Who said money was real? Once again, when enough people agree on a certain thing, then that becomes the law. But then it's like think about this. If we stopped using money and we just started utilizing our skills, hey, I need my room painted. I'm really good at therapeutic things. So how about I talk to your family and for my services, you paint my room? Where was the money needed for that? You got something, you got something. Farmers will be in high demand. Hey, so I can do this for you. I can build you a new sunroom on your house if you just give me enough food for a week or for a month or something like that. Okay, cool. Then there's just going to be some people that just love helping. So there'll be a farmer that just loves making food. So then they make all the food and they just ship it because some person loves driving. They love trucking. So because they love driving, hey, load it up. I'll take it to the farmer's market. And then they'll just drive it to the farmer's market and it's like, okay, let's see. So for these ears of corn, do you think it's fair that I just trade you this knife? I need a new knife. So let me just trade you some ears of corn for this knife. Cool. Okay, well, I don't have any skills in that regard, but I have done a lot of research on these snacks that we're shipping around. How about I educate you on some of these things so you can go live a healthy life, but in the change of that, you just bring me a few gallons of water every week. Where is the money needed for that? And then for those of y'all that got triggered, okay, if you want to go be a prostitute, hey, yo, I could throw a mean handy. You know what I'm saying? So you go ahead and do this for me, and you come on over at 6 o'clock. I'll just, not need by bing, bada boom. If you're good at sex, now you have a good way to use it, and now society's not going to judge you because you have something that's very sought after. But where was the money involved in any of this? You see what I'm saying? We're judging men, good men out here, because they don't make enough money. A woman will look at you crazy because she got a career in banking, and this person says, I just love doing this. But it's not something that society says is worth a lot of money. So, ew, he's a this and that. Oh my God. Why does it matter if that's a good man that's going to treat you right and provide everything that you need? On the other end of the spectrum, we sexualize women. I've used this example in one of my previous videos, like yesterday or a day or two ago, where like a world-class female athlete is subjected to her ass on a thumbnail for a YouTube video to get millions of clicks. We're not thinking about this type of stuff, because we have not been educated. When I find men that find it strange, like how many men could go through the process of semen retention? How many of them could? Some of y'all are going through it and you're like, oh my God, I can't. Because you're overriding years and years and years of you not being properly educated on what you're supposed to do when you get the tingle down under. That's why I go by Professor Mind, Body, and Spirit. Because we're not taught about the mind. We're not taught about the spirit. And then it's like, I saw a thing, and this is going to hit home to somebody very close to me, but I don't pull no punches. There was like a kid that was like, clearly like a high schooler that said he would never talk to a guidance counselor because they're snitches. Hey, I came to you in confidence, and now all of a sudden, this person is being dragged out of the room. I'm being put into some random program. I'm being pulled out of my house because I'm being pulled away from my family just because we're going through some things. And because I told this person in confidence, now all of a sudden, because of the rules that they have to abide by, they then have to report that to somebody because it's literally their job. And people wonder why people don't like therapists. Think about it. Like in every movie, you say that there's like, I'm gonna go to my therapist because I've been having thoughts of killing people. And then but then because that's relevant to the case, the therapist then has to divulge that information to the police. So where's that client privilege? Where's that client, whatever, what I'm trying to say. Where's that privilege at? Where's that secrecy? Where's that sanctity of the therapy and the client, whatever? Where is that bond at? Because this government, because y'all don't want to learn the things of words, y'all think about conspiracy theorists. Government, govern, control, mental, the mind. Why are all these things that are supposed to be held sacred have the government's hand in them? Marriage. Why does the government need to know that I got married? Tax purposes. Let's talk about taxes. We pay taxes on everything in the store. Then we pay our taxes, We have to pay our taxes. And then if you don't, you're going to get a couple knocks on the door. You're going to get some crazy letters in the mail. Wait a minute. I went out here and I started my own business. I literally started making soap. I put some essential oils, some coconut oil, blah, 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 mixed it together, and I started selling soap. Then when I started to make a certain amount of money, some person that I've never met gets a cut of that? Think about this. Why is it okay that this group of organization of other human beings have the right to say, hey, give me a cut of that? You wouldn't give me a cut. If I walked up to you, if let's just say you own a Chick-fil-A, I walk into your Chick-fil-A, I'm like, hey, yo, give me a cut of that. You're going to look at me like I'm crazy. But then this entity called the government that only has powers, remember, for the people, by the people? Yeah, this is what we're fighting so hard for, right? And when every time you question it, then all of a sudden, either the court of public opinion, or if you're saying too much stuff against the government, then you get put on a list and you're going to have a man in a suit at your door or sitting there in your living room and there ain't shit you can do about it. And this is what y'all call freedom. America is the best country in the world. This is the most free country in the world. Some of y'all ain't even left this country. And you're just saying that this is the best one. Y'all are saying Oreos are the best cookie, but you never tried any other cookie. You ain't never tried Chips Ahoy. You ain't never had your grandma make you some cookies. You only had Oreo, but you're saying that's the best cookie simply because that's the only one you've got. Most of the stuff that y'all know about other countries, think about it. Y'all be like, Africa, oh, it's nothing but poor homeless people, poor little Africans with tapeworms and round bellies sitting there with flies climbing around on their eyeballs, not knowing how nutrient dense, not knowing how other countries are fighting for land right now, how China is literally buying up all of Africa. But you don't know that. Because all you see is in the arms of an angel. Those little late night freaking commercials with showing how bad Africa is. Don't look at this trash heap of a continent. Don't look at them. And then I bet you most of y'all only know where's the rich people in Africa? Oh yeah, South Africa. I wonder why. Let's go look at that demographic versus, Uganda, Nigeria. Let's go look at those. Oh, yeah, you see there's a little bit of a difference there. It looks like there's some some mental manipulation going on with your image of this country, country/continent. Because Africa is a whole continent, but we just call Africa poor. When it's the most nutrient rich. Your phone has minerals that came from Africa. All life as we know it came from Africa. Your Bible was written about Africa. But some of y'all don't want to go that far into it. Y'all still got this long-haired, white man, blonde-haired, blue-eyed Jesus that you worship, but literally in your book, it says that he had the hair of wool and bronze skin. That sounds kind of like me, not this long-haired white man. I'm not here to bring race into it, but that's just the book. That's what the book says. And y'all just ignore that. I shall not worship false idols. But then you got long, blonde-haired, blue-eyed Jesus in front of half of y'all's churches. My children. That is literally, Sergio Fergio, something like that. I forgot his name. But that's literally the artist's son. But I'm a conspiracy theorist if I bring this up to you. Jesus, the image of the white Jesus that you have in your mind, is literally the artist's son. So either way, even if you don't believe that, let's just go back to that page where it says bronze skin, wool hair. So even if you can't really sit here and look at this and be like, wait, who is this guy? Even if you don't believe that, the fact that he's just the artist's son, that he just modeled after it, it's like, that's your book. And y'all just ignore the stuff that makes you uncomfortable. The stuff that shakes up the lies that you have been living. If it shakes it up, y'all don't like new things. That's why y'all are okay with working 40 years at a company just so you can get that pension. 40 years? What can you do in 40 years? How much happiness can you create in your world in 40 years? You have literally gone through and I'm already partly through with it, and I'm still like in the middle of that little battle myself. But nevertheless, it's like, you started off as that young, eager person. I've been taught that I have to do a good job, and I've been programmed to want this job since I was in elementary school. I wanted to be an engineer. I wanted to be a nurse, a doctor. How many of y'all, and like, once again, nurses and doctors are, I do believe, necessary. They do save lives. Once again, the surgeons and stuff like that. But the ones that just write prescriptions all day, you're a drug dealer. I have no respect for you. You know, I would rather deal with the pain that I'm going through than go to you for help. But for those of you that do the surgeries, you put limbs back on, you bring people back from the dead, I respect you 100%. But you drug pushers out there are the part of the problem. And you ain't going to stop it because you like your nice little car. So you'll sell us poison. Some of y'all haven't done any new clinical research since you graduated with that little PhD, that little piece of paper on your thing that says you are now allowed to distribute poison to your society. Think about it. Every single pill that you see has a side effect. And every side effect has another pill that can help you cure that. But then now you're in the loop. But don't question that. Keep on running back to the doctor. It's like if you go to, if you hire a plumber, you've got some clogged pipes, your toilet's stopped up, and you hire a plumber, and he comes in and he says, okay, problem solved, and leaves. Then you go and take a shit after eating your Taco Bell, and then you flush the toilet and it floods again. You're not going to call that plumber again, are you? Some of y'all are doing that. Some of y'all are flushing the toilet and you're calling the plumber back. He comes back in. He says it's fixed. He leaves. You flush the toilet again. It doesn't work. You keep calling this plumber back and you keep paying him over and over and over. That's what you're doing with doctors. They're here to heal you, right? They're here to show you, hey, there's something wrong with me, doc. Oh, there you go. And you just keep on coming back. They didn't fix the problem. And every time that they say there's a fix, then you have another problem. You start off with a freaking toe ache, and now your ankle hurts. Now your knee hurts. Now you're feeling lethargic. You're having headaches. Now you're vomiting. And you keep going back to the same place, and you feel to realize that this is the person that's making you sick. When there is a whole industry that benefits off of you being sick, they are not here to heal you. But then someone like me that has these little herbs nearby, mullein, mugwort, blackberry, catnip, lavender, you look at me like I'm crazy. Y'all only know lavender as your laundry detergent, the scent. You don't know the therapeutic effects of lavender. But I'm crazy for using these herbs, these things that have existed before all of this society. The things that all different cultures, when y'all want to go travel and you want to go hang out with the African tribes, the Indian tribes, I want to be part of the things that they have been doing. You're just a little tourist with it and you think that there's no use for it. But then you eat a mushroom and then you start seeing a whole bunch of crazy stuff and you just see them as drugs and fun because you're consumers. We have been taught to be consumers. We've been taught to be consumers. We're not taught to think for ourselves. We're not taught to find other ways of wealth. Some of y'all, the only way y'all know to make any type of money in this world is to go get a job. That's the only way. And then even the entrepreneurs. It's like entrepreneurs are, well, I'm not going to go work for somebody else. I'm going to work for myself. That's cool too. And then some of y'all are closed off to that because that's your new world. And don't get me wrong, I'd rather you be working for yourself than somebody else and say, I wish I could do that, but I got to start things up on my own. But nevertheless, it's like, but then there's another option where there's somebody that sits at his computer or sits at his phone, makes a little TikTok, and they become millionaires because they do a simple little dance on TikTok. They didn't teach you that option in school. They didn't say, hey, little Timmy, you can be famous on YouTube. Hey, little Sarah, you can be famous by shaking your ass on the screen. Hey, little Timmy, when you get older, you can watch women masturbate on the screen. Yeah, and those women, for some reason, make a whole lot of money. Yeah, But we're not going to educate you on that. And we're not going to tell you how that's surging a whole bunch of dopamine in your world. And it's completely going to change your view of women. And that's going to make you disrespect them. So, oh, porn is natural. Oh, welcome to today's sex ed class, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, we're going to be going over sex ed. Okay, guys. All right, we're in the male class now. Oh, pornography, guys. We all know we watch a couple videos from time to time. Okay, it's completely normal. No, the fuck it's not. Because we got this disassociation with that type of thing. There's so many loveless relationships because they're expecting to be fucked like porn stars these days. Oh my God, he's just not doing it for. Oh, bro, she ain't doing that extra sloppy toppy 9,000, bro. She ain't doing it because y'all got this thing viewed by porn, the WWE, the fake sex of this world. All this misinformation, all this miseducation out here, and y'all don't know that it all started in schools. Some of y'all won't even trust the person 3 doors down from you to watch your kids for an hour. But yet, when they are at the most impressionable age, you plop them down into a school to make them smart. Because if I don't, then they're gonna call Child Protective Services on me. So because you don't want them to be mixing goddamn cheeseburgers and milk for lunch, that's a good idea. Think about that. You get out of school. How many of you have gotten a cheeseburger and milk? I mean, technically the cheese is on the burger, but nevertheless, how many of you drink milk with your meals? So everything that they've been teaching you in school is right, though. Oh, see, this is the type of stuff. The government is in your education. The government is in your money. The government is in your marriages. The government is taking money from you everywhere. And you just say that this is what we're supposed to be here defending. This is what we're protecting. This is the best country in the world. But then if you call it communist, if you call it fascist, then, oh, look at this Gen Z. Look at these damn millennials. Bro, fascism, like a military-run country. The only reason the US dollar had any value is because we had the strongest military behind it. So we bullied people into taking our money. And y'all see how that's going now. The monetary system is literally crashing in front of us. And because we've been taught to be consumers, because we have been taught to not think for ourselves and wait for the government or wait for the man on the TV to tell us what to do, now we are at the point now where we're watching it crumble and you're like, government should help us. Fuck you, Biden. Let's go, let's go, Brandon. Fuck Trump. And then y'all been so duped into believing that either side of them cares about this. Let's talk about politics. Everything we're not supposed to be talking about in one breath. We on one right now. It's and I've talked about this over and over and over. Half of y'all, you Democrats, especially you black Democrats out there, if I were to say, why did you vote for Biden? And why do you plan on voting for him again? I can almost guarantee you, I said, give me a bullet point for 5 things. I can almost guarantee you that somebody's going to bring up Trump's name. Why'd you vote for this man? Because Trump's an idiot. That's your reason? You can't even justify why you're going to vote for this person. Not to be disrespectful, but someone very close to me, I'm not going to say who, but someone very close to me, someone that's been a part of my life for a very long time. Well, if you ain't Democrat, you ain't right. It's like, yeah, go Democrat. You do know Biden has something to do with the crime bill, the one that incarcerated a whole bunch of black families and took a whole bunch of fathers out of the household, right? But because he's running around with Obama, who also didn't do anything for black people, he's okay now. And y'all don't know y'all history, and history is doomed to repeat itself. Especially for those of you that don't know history, you're doomed to repeat it. Something like that. That's exactly what this is. You just go with the now. You get riled up and hyped up, but then we're not going to talk about how Trump, once again, I don't care about either side. He's an idiot too. They're all dumbasses. But nevertheless, it's like Trump, when Trump was in office, that was like a higher rate of black employment in this country. But y'all don't talk about that. Y'all just focus on what the media told y'all. Okay, and once again, 50% of the population is pissed off every single election. But that's the United States of America, when 50% of the population can't agree on who their leader is. All right, well, you know, I could go on and on and on and on, and I'm sure a month from now we're going to have the same exact video again. But till the next one, y'all, peace.